Welcome to Tales, Trails, and Tributaries. In this video, I'm solo camping at Deerlick Creek Campground just north of Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Holt Lake. Join me as I explore the trails and plant diversity of this unofficial campground of Alabama football fans. It's my car. There's my picnic table. And even on this foggy morning, you're going to see, oops, turn my coffee water off. You're going to see I've got this view of the water down there. It is beautiful here. They have this sign here. I think a lot of people come watch Alabama football games here. And this must be a lot of the folks who play Alabama. Of course, Alabama's #1 up there. Oops, Auburn's on the bottom. So's LSU. Alabama fans. Here's a trail, and it's paved. I'm fixing to do it. It's on both sides of the road. So I'm gonna do one. This is the tree trail. So I'll do that first. The magnificent. It's white oak. You can always tell a white oak. They're so easy to pick out because of this bark. And I'll get a little closer picture of that beautiful kind of exfoliating bark. It kind of peels up. There's some of the leaves. And you could just see they have, about 6 lobes on the side. And they're, 5 to 6, and they're just deeply lobed. And in the fall, oh my gosh, they're beautiful. Here's a dogwood tree. I think they've probably already flowered here, but I'm going to show you a couple of things. One thing that's really distinct about dogwoods, well, you can't see it here too much because of the moss, but the leaves are very distinctive. The veins are pretty deep, and they just have this perfect classic leaf shape. The canopy's always pretty to me. And yeah, absolutely beautiful. Okay, I found another dogwood, and I wanted to show the distinctive bark. You can see it's just little small squares, and it goes up and down the tree, and it just makes it very distinctive. Okay, another tree I just found is a little baby beech tree, and it's got that pretty bark. When it gets big, that bark, it really stays like this. It has those distinctive white patches, and it is a favorite of carvers. People love to carve into a beech tree. But this is and these are the leaves, and they're kind of distinctive too, because they, they're kind of almost ruffled, There's so many veins in them that they kind of have that ruffled appearance. And what's really my favorite part is in the fall they turn brown, this beautiful golden brown color, and they stay brown all winter. They hold on to their leaves. They hold on to those brown leaves. So when you're in a hilly spot in the fall, those brown leaves just up against all the bare trees, it's really pretty. It's really something to see. Here's another beech tree, and you can see that distinctive bark. of course, is poison ivy. These are little tiny ones. Here's the thing about poison ivy. A lot of people think that they're not allergic to poison ivy because they've never had an allergic reaction. But the problem is, over time, our body's resistance to the toxins in poison ivy, the irritants, diminishes. So the people who get the worst cases of poison ivy are oftentimes people who think that they're not allergic to it at all, and so they're walking through it, and then they live to regret it. There's an interesting pine tree with a big bend in it. And see how big the squares are on a pine tree compared to a dogwood? It's interesting. It's a pretty pine tree. There's not a lot of pines up in here. It's another beautiful white oak. Here's a Beech Tree Hollow trail, and it's a 1-mile loop, so we'll see. I love beetles. It's leading down to this little creek. Another beech tree. This one's dead, but you can see how large they get. This is much larger, and also by where the trunk meets the ground, I love the way beech tree roots always look. It's really pretty. And here's more of the creek, and there's a really pretty beech tree. It's pretty. I'm literally right back where I started. So if you're about to give up hope and turn around because of all the fallen leaves, just keep going. You finally ran into the sign, back on the paved trail, and I am out of breath from that climb. Whew! So I'm back at the beginning of the nature trail. The tree trail that I went on is right across the street. So the tree trail runs along the other side and then ends up connecting with the end of this little paved nature trail. And then off this paved nature trail is the Beech Hollow Trail. So altogether, I'd say it's probably 2 miles. Beech Hollow's 1 mile, and I would say these two together are at least 1 mile. So it's a nice walk for a morning. This is a very steep trail down to the lake. Ooh, the lake looks good here. This is the first view I've really had of it, of the lake, so it's pretty cool. This is one heck of a, what we call huckleberries, wild southern blueberries, but this thing is so old and big. And the trunk, I'd be hard pressed to know when I've, around Mississippi seen something like that. And I know what it is because all on the ground are the little berry flowers. These little white things. They look like little cups. And they're just all over the ground here. Well, I am just going to tell you that Deerlick Creek has busted my butt. I hiked almost every trail in here, and I'm exhausted. And one trail, I ended up having to turn around because I thought it was coming back to my camp, and I think it probably would have, but there are so many downed trees that they get a lot of storms through here, and so they have a lot of damage, and it just takes a while. Most parks are underfunded, so they just don't have people in here to clean up trail damage. Which, if there's any Boy Scouts watching, it might be a great Eagle Scout project to do some trail maintenance in some of these places. But it was very, very strenuous. One of the last thing that I did was climb almost a straight uphill. That's another thing, they need some switchbacks here because it's kind of eroding. But it's been a really lovely time here. The variety of plants in Alabama is amazing. It has one of the most diverse plants and amphibians and reptiles. It's real high up there too in diversity. So there's a lot of good plants here, beautiful trees. This is a hilly portion. Alabama has the Gulf. It has this kind of hilly area. I'm close to Tuscaloosa right now. Further up, you have Sipsey Wilderness, and further up, you have Little River Canyon, and both of those places are great. And then, of course, Alabama has the Cahaba River, which is one of the most diverse plant species rivers in the whole country. So there's a lot to see in Alabama. There's been a lot to see here at Deerlick, and I haven't even gone to see the swimming area, and maybe I'll do that on the way out. But the sites here are lovely. I don't do too many campsite tours because there's already a couple of good ones out there that I watched on YouTube, so we probably don't need a repeat. But I love this campground because it's just so treed, and a lot of campgrounds they're redoing them, and when they put in the new pads and stuff, they cut all the trees down. So I really love this place because it has been full of trees. The view from this campsite has been amazing. I'm at site 18 at the end of the Laurel Ridge, and I know why it's called Laurel Ridge because all behind me is mountain laurel. It's beautiful. And what's weird is there's no mountain laurel in any of the other places that I hiked today. So it's really funny that there's so much mountain laurel right just in this little concentrated area. So that's been really nice. And yeah, but I'm gonna, it's almost 4 o'clock and I'm done in. So I'm gonna take a shower in just a bit and heat up some food and call it a day. Thanks for hanging out with me.